What's up, everybody? It's TheOmegaLegend, and I'm back with the much anticipated Batman v Superman review. I'm gonna upload my spoiler review for a later date for those who haven't seen the movie yet, but let's get straight into this review. Alright, you should already know who's starring in this movie, so I'm not gonna repeat everything you already know. Now, the standout in this movie is just flat out Ben Affleck's Batman. I mean, this guy was beating ass, doing detective work for once. No thanks to Chris Nolan. Really moving like a martial artist, a master martial artist. He was old, he was brooding. Ben Affleck really did his thing. He really stood out from almost every incarnation of Batman. I was thoroughly impressed, especially in the, what they want to call Mad Max, but the Nightmare Batman sequences, oh man, it just got crazy with him. I was thoroughly impressed, and he's my favorite part of the movie, hands down. More than likely, when you see the movie, if you already saw it, he's more than likely your favorite part as well. Now, Wonder Woman, a lot of people are saying she stole the show. I personally feel she wasn't in the movie long enough to steal the show. I mean, Wonder Woman showed up pretty much at the end, and she was ready to kick ass. I mean, in the fight with Doomsday. She just rushed him. She was like Gohan versus Broly. I mean, everybody was scared, and Gohan just rushed him. She just ran in and was ready to go, no problem. She was badass for the time that she was on the screen. I'm saying she was not on the screen long enough to steal the movie for me. If she would have just been doing a lot more stuff, I'm pretty sure she would have stole the show. Wonder Woman was fantastic. This actually excites me for the movie because it seems like Gal Gadot's taking it very serious. You know, she's put on the weight. She has put on the weight. But yeah, she's also a decent part of the movie. But what I did not like too much was Superman. It seemed like he was just emo and careless the entire movie, just pouting. I mean, he was going under some major scrutiny. I get it and I understand, but for entertainment qualities, I don't want to see somebody moping for 2 hours and 30 minutes. It just did not work for me. He was still better in his acting, but as far as what he had to do, it just didn't entice me towards the movie at all. Now, Jesse Eisenberg, a lot of people say he played a great Riddler. Cut it out. I mean, I get the references, but cut it out. He was not all that, like you're making it sound like he's the Dan Pillsbury guy. I mean, there were scenes where he was kind of like that, but understand that was his outer shell. Whenever he had somebody in private, he was more snickery, condescending, sarcastic. And that's what he was supposed to be, really. He's supposed to be a sociopath. I think it's the fact that everybody was just assuming he was going to infuse his own little quick and quippy personality, which he kind of did, but it's definitely not to the degree of seriousness that everybody's just leveling out to. It's not that much, but keep in mind, it will probably get on your nerves because there's two and a half hours of this guy. If you don't like it, yeah, sit back, grab a soda, because he's in this movie, all right? There's a high chance of you not liking him. I liked him. I thought he was never put me in fear, so to speak, but I got the sense, I got the vibe from him. Now, let's just be honest. The editing was horrible. I mean, to put it simply and quick and not just sit there and rant and get all extra philosophical and shit about it, the previous scene has nothing to do with the scene at hand. The next scene will have nothing to do with the scene that you just saw, but it's still a cohesive story if you pay attention. You know, use a little bit of your attention span and just focus on what's going on and realize that Lex is the bad guy. There's no Bat villain, there's no Superman villain, or whoever thought of that nonsense. It's Lex Luthor. So just keep in mind, Lex Luthor is essentially, I don't know, the puppeteer amongst puppets. Okay, keep that in mind. Another thing I didn't like, you wouldn't even know, if you didn't know who KG Beast was, you wouldn't know he was in the movie. I mean, whatever his name is, something Manitold, blah, blah, blah. I don't feel like looking it up, okay? That guy, he's in the significant spot at the right time throughout the entire movie, okay? Scar Chin. If you haven't seen the movie, look out for Scar Chin. He was in Winter Soldier, he was in the second 300 movie, and he has the chin with a scar on it. So, yeah, that guy does nothing. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler, but I had to let that out. He is a waste of screen time. He does nothing. His damn henchmen do more than him. Throughout the entire movie, he turns around, shows off his chin, says like 3 sentences, and shoots 2 guys. And that's in the dead first act. So, yeah. trying to wind down on the negatives here. The big fight, the Batman versus Superman fight happens within the last 45 to 30 minutes. And the fight, and I wanted it to be longer. You know, it was just like, hey, Batman. He was like, yeah, here I am. And then, you know, you blink, try to scratch your ass, you drop something on the floor, you pick it up, fight's over. And they're off to, you know, handle their situation with the big fight against Doomsday. Doomsday looked like a pile of silly putty. I mean, he looked like the troll that stabbed Frodo. No, the troll that stabbed Frodo looked better. He will not, he evolves a little bit. Okay, he evolves a little bit, gets more rocky form. He won't come a third of the way close as to what Doomsday looks like with his whole rock form. Do not look forward to that. Just go play Injustice or something. Don't look forward to that. It's not gonna happen. As far as everyone's motivations in this movie, outside of Batman's motivations for being Batman, and slightly his motivation for not trusting Superman, is incredibly weak. It's just one line. It's just simple. I don't like that guy. There's your motivation. Hey, shit, I thought we had Chris Terrio on this bad boy. I thought we were gonna get something deep. You know, like, what the hell happened? Did everybody fall asleep? But to wrap this up and not take too long and get straight to the point, there were a lot of positives. There were just a lot of negatives that really took my score down for this movie. The cinematography is great, along with all the other great things I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Cinematography is great. I don't know what happened with Doomsday. I mean, everything else looked like a damn comic book was shoved in my face with some LSD. But you know what happened. But yeah, so with all those negatives, I'd have to say the movie is around a 7 to a 7.5. It's not a bad movie. It's just not amazing. It's okay. It's a good movie. I would still recommend watching it. You know, if you're a kind of person that takes out the kids, it's a little expensive for you to go to the movies. It's okay. You go ahead, wait for rental on demand, however you got to do it. But if you're one of those folks that's like, man, I want to see this movie, but I'm not sure, just go see the movie, because there's a chance you might think this is a 1 or a 10. It's really split. If you go and watch more reviews, you will see everybody dislikes this movie for different reasons. Nobody's just, you know, unified on one set thing. And people who like the movie like it for completely different reasons. So, you know, this is one of those movies. It's just pure split. You have to see it for yourself. I will be seeing it again with my friends tonight. I'll probably do a spoiler review, a much longer video, so I can really get into things. But to keep it short, like I said, probably a 7, leaning towards 7.5. Would have been better if all those small little problems would have just been tightened up. I mean, we waited 3 years for this. Some of these problems shouldn't even exist. You know, I should just be nitpicking at this point, but there's just blatant problems. But that's all we have for now. I'm back from a long time of being sick, so you can count on regular uploads again. You know, subscribe, like for everything DC, EU, soon to be Just League, Wonder Woman, obviously Suicide Squad. I have all that. I have a whole bunch of content on the channel and more new content coming on the way, because, you know, I got my camera. We'll see what we set up. So thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll catch y'all later.